Let's see, coffee, check. Full tank of battery, check. Props, check. All right, it's time for a coffee break. Bruce Naylor, Frugal Tech here. Welcome to an episode of Coffee Break. This is a show that I enjoy doing, and I just fell down on the job and didn't make them for a long time. Anyway, I digress. So the whole purpose of this video is to talk a little bit about the new iPad Pro, which I pre-ordered last week, and it should be here next Wednesday. Windows, ads, and I hate that. Got to do something about that. At any rate, I bought a new iPad Pro. My history of the tablets, particularly the iPad, goes back to 2011. And it was in the summer of 2011 I bought my first iPad. It was the second generation, I believe. And I had it for a couple of years. And when the iPad Air was introduced in 2013, I think it was November 2013, I bought one and sold my second generation iPad. And I still have this iPad Air 5 years later. It still works. Battery life's not that great on it. It's pretty slow. Does basic stuff okay. My wife uses it. At first, she was really reluctant to even mess with an iPad. She said, well, I can do pretty much everything that thing can do on my laptop or with the iPhone. I said, yeah, absolutely. You sure can. But I said, it really does take content, consuming content, reading news, watching online videos, much better experience than trying to lug around a laptop or watching it on a small phone. So reluctantly, she actually tried it, and she began using it and finding that it really worked for her. Once she learned she could actually send text messages through it, answer the phone on it. And with the advent of Apple News, she became hooked as an iPad user. Now, what happened next was that a friend of mine had a iPad Pro, a 9.7 inch, come up for sale used. And I bought it. It has 128 gigs of storage. And I got the case, the smart cover, or I think that's what it's called, all for a reasonably good price. And I've been using it for about the last year or so. So with this iPad, my wife is now complaining a lot about the battery life and having to constantly have it hooked up to a charger. She said, why don't you get a new iPad and give me your iPad Pro 9.7? And I said, you know what, that's a good idea. Let's wait till the next refresh. That was this summer. So October 30th rolls around and we see the introduction of the new iPad Pro. Now, why didn't we just get one of the new 329 iPads? Why did I spend the money and get the iPad Pro? Well, a couple reasons. In my particular case, I had $100 worth of Apple Store gift cards, rewards cards, which I applied toward the purchase. Now, I bought the basic version of the iPad Pro. It's 11-inch, 64 gigs of storage, no accessories. I think the accessories are insanely overpriced. Was $179 for the keyboard cover that you can get for it, $130 or whatever it is for the Apple Pencil, which I have no use for. Just ridiculous. I'm not going to spend that kind of money. For a device that I use, my use case is watching the news, watching movies, TV shows, listening to some music from time to time, read a lot of books on there. That's what I tend to use my tablet for. But in the morning, with my morning coffee, the first thing I grab is this thing, check my email, then I start in business news, etc. Much more convenient than sitting down in front of a desktop PC or lugging around the laptop. My throat is getting so dry. Maybe not so much coffee, maybe a little bit of water. So why not get the 329 model? Well, first off, not impressed with the sound at all. A lot of times my wife wants to share a video with me, or I want to share a video with her, and the sound on the iPad Air isn't that great. You only have the single speaker on it. Maybe dual speakers, but it's not very good. The sound on the iPad Pros is amazing, but more importantly, the iPad, the 329 iPad is basically a lot older technology that is built on, whereas this is a whole new device that Apple just released. You have the A12X Bionics processor, where you have 8 CPU cores, 4 of which are very high performance, 4 a little bit slower. And then you have 7 GPU cores on there. This thing is lightning fast. According to Apple, it's like faster than 92% of the laptops being sold out. So you got the graphical power, you've got the CPU power is lightning fast. You have the Face ID that will work in any orientation of the tablet, which, believe it or not, it's going to be very, very handy for me. So you have that capability on there. You just have the USB-C port that would allow you to actually hook it up to an external display. Am I going to do that? No. But this is, I think, the future of computing for Mac. Good, bad, or indifferent. These tablets, the iPads, are the new computing platform that I believe Apple's going to really concentrate on down the road. I see that happening. I see the ability to, I don't care what Apple says publicly. I think it's becoming, to me, more and more plain that OS X and iOS are going to somehow morph into something a little bit different. This is going to be more the form factor of your computer, and wirelessly or wired, however, you'll dock it and you'll have your mouse, keyboard, display, 5K, whatever, 8K displays. But this is going to be the form factor of the Mac, I think, going forward. I really do. I think that's going to be more the form factor. Oh yeah, they'll still probably have a pro desktop machine, but I think for the most part, this is going to be it going forward. And I think this new generation, the iPad Pro, kind of moves us closer to that point. So why invest in older technology? Why not go ahead and kind of future-proof yourself a little bit with this iPad? Because of all the changes that they made in this design, this 2018 iPad Pro, do you really think a year from now they're going to make another bunch of radical changes to it? No, of course not. It'll just be kind of incremental updates, probably for the next couple of years before there's another major redesign of the iPad. So I'm a little bit more future-proof with this. So when I get it next Wednesday, I'll do an unboxing video of it, of course. And then I'm going to do a really nice, thorough review. I'm going to use my better professional gear and all that kind of thing and make a much nicer video. I want to spend a little bit of time, because see, here's the thing. Specs don't matter that much to me anymore. I'm just not a spec head. It is the experience of owning the device, right? Of using it day in and day out, how it performs, how intuitive is it, how reliable does it seem to be? Is it worth the money? And then that's my question to you. And I think right now it's really too soon to judge, but face value, do you think that $799, $800 for the base model of the iPad, do you think it's overpriced? Or do you think that it is really a nice little computer and a fantastic form factor? Or do you think it is just a big waste of money? And of course, I know it's all going to vary by your use case. And if you're not a fan of tablets, you're not going to use it. Yeah, it's a waste of money. There's no doubt. If you don't use it for its, yeah, it would be a waste of money. In my case, I don't think it will be. I spend my tech dollars very, very carefully, and I try to get as much bang for the buck as I can. Because even with $100 off, I'm still paying $700 for a tablet. That's a heck of a lot of money for a tablet. And but I know that I do use it and get the value out of it, because I hang on to this stuff for a really, really, really long time. Years and years and years. I hang on to the tech until it can no longer do what I want it to do. So I think that's pretty much it for this video. I'm bringing back this whole coffee break thing because so many people have written to me, said they enjoy it. And I've kind of rearranged some things to where I can make it super convenient to sit down and record a video. recording this in 1080p rather than 4K, but I am using 60 frames a second. So there you go, and I've been rattling on long enough. Oh yeah, I want to be interesting to see your comments down. What do you think of the new iPad Pro? Good, bad, indifferent. I want to hear from you in the comments down below. Bruce Naylor, Frugal Tech. Until the next one.